I'm Jonathan Weinberg, and this is Drawing with Fountain Pens. Today I'm going to talk about a very affordable pen. It's actually a favorite of mine. It is the Sailor Fude de Mannen pen. Mannen, I think, means fountain pen in Japanese, and I guess I read somewhere that the name is actually a pun, but that doesn't really work in English. But anyway, it is a very affordable pen. It's only around $13, $14 last time I looked. And I've been using this for years, so why review it now? Well, that's I only discovered recently that it actually comes in two sizes. So I thought it would be fun to sort of try out both sizes just to show you the differences and to also kind of promote this pen. For those of you who are new to fountain pens, a Fude nib is a bent nib, and it allows you, depending on how you hold the pen, to make thick and thin lines. So this is the original one that I had. It's interesting, when I got this pen, it had these lettering on it, CDE on it. I guess suggesting that this is a pen that is really meant for calligraphy and writing letters, big letters, artistic letters. You can see that it goes from Western alphabet to an alphabet that looks more like Japanese alphabet, a kind of mixture of different kinds of lettering on this one. But they don't do that on the pink and this, at least dark blue or black versions. This is the one that's 55 degrees. These two are 40 degrees. I'm not sure if the 55 degree one comes in any other colors, what they call bamboo green. Anyway, these, I know this one also comes in white, and these pens are very comfortable in the hand, because even though they don't taper, they're very light, and they also pose very well. And I think they don't really look like other Sailor pens, but I think the idea here is to look more like a brush, and to sort of signal that that's what this kind of a pen is meant to be used for. Very thoughtfully, they have put a little stop here so that the pen doesn't roll off the table. It's very well thought through, and the nibs that they have are, of course, steel and bent, but they are in this sort of bright gold, and they're actually also very attractive. They have the little anchor on the nib. The 55 and the 40 both say MF on them, meaning they can go from, I think, medium to fine, or which is, again, something I'm going to point out, is that it is the way the nib is bent. That's what the 40-55 refers to, not the actual width of the nib, and it depends on how you hold the pen, how you get it to go from wide to thin. So the degree of the bend is going to change how you hold the pen. So this is, you can see here, this is the original pen that I had, how it's tilted up. So this is the original one, bamboo green. And this is the pink one, which is a 40 degree bend, slightly less of a bend. And you can see, let's see if you can see it here, that it's not because one is wider than the other, but it's because the one on the right is bent more. That makes the difference in how they write it, depending on how you hold it and how wide a line you get. I think it's a little misleading that some of the reviews about the pen have implied in a way that the nib itself is somehow wide or less wide on the 40. It's just that you can, with the 55 bend, bring more of the nib onto the paper than you can with the 40 degree. That's in theory, what happens, depending on how you hold the pen. And also, it's going to make a difference what ink you have in the pen. It's going to make a difference how hard you press in terms of how much ink is going to come out. So this is the 55-degree bend. Depends on how I hold the pen. Got a thick line. High, it's much thinner. Line got really thick. I want to do a shadow and get it really thick and dark. Here is the 40-degree pen. And it's not. The big difference is that when I hold it the normal way, I get a thinner line. But I can still get a thick line if I go down way down. Still getting a thick line. And I can get thin line this way. So it's more about comfort and how you hold the pen than it is about the actual width of the nib. Let's see again. So this is the 40-degree. It's thick. This is thin. This is the 55. See, and I'm getting, I don't know, it's actually, it's just that it's thicker. If I hold it higher in the middle, I get it thick. But it's not thicker, maybe a little thicker. Actually, it's probably a little thicker, but not hugely thicker. Let's see. Not really, but it depends on how you hold it. So basically, if I hold a pen the way normally I hold a pen, it's going to be thicker here. If I hold the 40 the way I normally hold a pen, it's going to be thinner. So that's how I would define the two pens. They both, which is cool, really are capable of going from thick to thin. It just depends, again, how you hold the pen. And they're incredibly expressive. The other thing that's great about them is they're very inexpensive pens. You can get both of these together. You know, you're talking about $25, $30. They don't come with a converter. You need to buy this converter, Sailor converter. I think that's under $10 if you want to put in particular inks, or you get the Sailor black ink, or I'm sure these come in different colors, and it takes Sailor proprietary cartridges. I suppose you could empty one of these cartridges and put your own color into them if you wanted to, but I would recommend getting a converter. And this is very highly recommended. There's some other pens that you can get with Fude nibs. For example, there's a Duke pens that have Fude nibs, and there are some options, particularly Chinese pens that have that option. So if you enjoy that and it's something you like to draw with, look for it and experiment with it. As always, if this is useful, don't forget to subscribe. We're getting ready to start a new year, and it's really wonderful how the channel has grown thanks to your support.